welcome to Spill the Tea with Mrs. P. Hope you're all okay. Hope you've had a fab week. Right, so I want to talk to you about the documentary I've been watching this week, and I was hoping to have finished it, and I've not yet. But that's just the joys of having 46,000 kids. So I've been watching the Caroline Flack documentary, and I'll be honest with you, part of me didn't want to watch it because when she died, it was just such a tragedy. It was such a waste of a beautiful life. And I was so scared watching the documentary that obviously I didn't know her personally. I'd only seen her on TV and Love Island and stuff. But I've seen, when you see Ollie Murs and stuff talk about his relationship with her, that's genuine love, that's genuine affection. And so many people felt like that about her. You can't be a bad person and have that kind of impact on people. And that's why when she felt she had no choice to take her own life, I just thought, God, if she knew how many lives had been devastated by losing her, would she have done it? Would she have been able to reach out to them? And like I said, part of me didn't want to watch it because I thought, are they going to drag her name through the mud? Are they going to completely tarnish what she was about? But I've not got. I've done the first one, and I'm just halfway through the second one. And it's just the way that all the incidents happened, and the way that I just can't put into words what I want to say a fucking disaster it was, which it was, but it's more than that because it's a young girl's life. I didn't realize she was a twin as well, so I suppose that hits home for me quite a lot with obviously having our twins, because I always thought, well, there's no closer bond than siblings. Then I had twins, and our twins are chalk and cheese. You couldn't find two more different kids. Honestly, it is fucking wild how different our boys are. Not even just personalities, looks, hair, skin complexions, skin tones. They couldn't be more different. But their bond, they have a closeness that I can't describe. They do literally know what the other one's thinking 99% of the time. Don't get me wrong, they bicker like siblings as well, but God, they have this little bond, this little secret twin thing that no one else could ever get close to, and it's just magic, and I adore watching it. I've actually sat in the kitchen, and River was walking to Fox's bedroom, and I heard Fox shout "yeah" before River even got to his door, and he just knew. It was weird, but they're just, I love it. So, and I didn't realise Caroline Flack was a twin. Sorry, going back. And I never want to think about my twins not having the other one there. But watching her poor mum, and this was so avoidable. This was just a very drunken, very stupid night. But Caroline clearly had severe mental health issues. Her friends talk about it in the documentary. Her family talk about it in the documentary. And there's no way to avoid that she was just used by CPS to make a fucking example of. And don't get me wrong, I will never defend domestic violence, domestic abuse. She did hit him. There did have to be consequences for it. I'm not saying she's innocent in this. I'm not saying that at all. But did she deserve to lose her life over it? He didn't have medical treatment afterwards. He had a bash on his head. Again, I'm not defending it. Please don't take this that I'm defending it. But I'm saying that I can't think of the word now. The results, the consequences need to be suitable for the action. Do you know what I mean? So if my kids do something stupid, the consequences should match their actions. And I don't believe someone losing their life should be the consequence of a drunken fight, okay? I think she threw a phone at him or hit him with the phone. And please don't jump on, I'm not saying it's right. But Lewis was drunk at the time. He got his story a little bit muddled. We've all been there after one too many drinks going, not really sure what happened. And you muddle stuff in your head at the time. He didn't want to press charges, but the CPS made an example because it was domestic violence. And I understand they need to bring this into they need to for people to realise that the CPS will prosecute for domestic violence. They need to do that so that it does stop, obviously. But they hounded her. And when you look at the reports, you just go, this wasn't right. The police said there was no need to prosecute. It was just ridiculous, the whole thing. And no one is being held accountable. Now, I will get to the end of it tonight, so I may come back to this and go, oh, actually, they have been held accountable. But up to now, they've not been held accountable. And I think, why? Why? If she was being held accountable for what she did, why is no one being held accountable for what they did to her? That's what I don't get. And I mean, this poor girl, she had a history of mental health issues. The CPS were aware of this. The police said, in their report, they said it wasn't in her mental best health to pursue this. Her partner didn't want to pursue it. There was no medical attention needed. We have all done things that we regret. And she clearly did. And it was just a fucking witch hunt for her. And when you read the headlines and what the media did to her, the media were not going to let her walk away from this. They were never going to let her walk away from this. Did you know, I don't know if you've watched it or not, that she hurt herself that night? All the blood in the photos that were released by the media were hers. They weren't his. He only had a little cut on his head. I'm aware it's still a cut. But because there was a lot of blood, that was hers. That's what she'd done to herself in her drunken stupor of, shit, what have I done? I've just ruined my life. This is it. And this is where her mental health was. She went straight to ending it because she thought, well, this is it now. My life's ruined. I find it astonishing that the media can report whatever they like. The stuff that they said about her, and no one's been held accountable. Now, if I make shit up, I'd be held accountable. There's a lady on TikTok at the moment. I'm not going to say her name because I'm not doing it to get likes for that. So I'm not mentioning her. I'm not going to put her in hashtags or anything. And she made up a story about herself having cancer in 2017. And from what I gather, she's been charged. And she did go to court over it because her friend set up a GoFundMe account. She did have it closed down. She didn't take any money from it, but she has been charged with fraud, and it's all been dealt with. And the police have said it's case closed, so they won't discuss it. But now, because it's come out now, she's being held accountable for what she said. Should people not be held accountable for what they say? Okay, and I just think everyone else is. Caroline Flack was made to be accountable for what she did, overly so. This lady on TikTok, obviously not a nice lie, and should be held accountable for what she said, and she has, and it's done, and everyone should move on with life. And yet, if I'm a journalist, I can write whatever I like. They just need a little soupçon of truth, and then they can go wild with it. They can print whatever the fuck they like. To the extent a young lady kills herself because she can't see a way forward. Now, I've always had a bugbear about this from Amy Winehouse. because I thought Amy Winehouse was an incredibly talented artist, and I thought it was incredibly sad, the addiction that took over her life. It was just devastating to watch. Obviously, not in her inner circle, but to watch it so publicly was horrendous. And the stories and the bullshit that came out in the media about her. Do you ever wonder why she couldn't get clean? Do you ever wonder? Every time she left her flat, there was just bullshit written about her, and no one was held accountable for it. And I think it's a long time ago now. So I believe she was trying to get clean, and that was the problem. I think she had no alcohol in her system, which is why her system sort of shut down. And she was trying her best, but everywhere she went, druggy Amy, smackhead Amy, this, that and the other. And I'm not even going to mention her partner's name because he's just as accountable as the media. But addiction is addiction. But people, at the time, oh God, so many people on social media were just writing, good, nasty comments of goodbye to good riddance to her and all this, and I thought, what? She's a young girl, she's a daughter, she's a granddaughter, she's someone's family. And everyone was just like, well, she was a druggie, she had it coming. Did she? She doesn't deserve any sympathy, doesn't deserve any love, any care. I just thought, wow. And again, the media stirred it all up, and they could say whatever the fuck they liked, and they're not held accountable. And I just watched this documentary last night and thought, in all the pictures that came out about Caroline Flack after the attack, you have to call it what it is. I can't defend what she did. It doesn't matter how drunk you get, it doesn't matter how emotional you get, you don't hit anyone. It's that simple. You don't hit anyone. So she shouldn't have done it. But the witch hunt, the media, and there was a picture of her, I think it's Christmas, and she's, excuse me, and her friend said it's the first time that she'd laughed, and she thought she might make it through today. But the media got that picture, the one picture that they wanted to say, still laughing even after what she's done and all this, and you think, yeah, shower of shit. They really are. I just can't abide them. There's no conclusion to this. I think I've just ranted for about 10 minutes to you. I do apologise. But I just find it so frustrating that there's no accountability. That if you're in the media, you seem to be able to say whatever you like. Fill your boots. Young girl dies because of your lies in your newspaper. You're a journalist, it's your job. Seriously? Is that where we're going with this? No. There should be consequences, and I believe there should be consequences to the media. They should have stricter laws. They've got to. They can't go on like this. Right. My rant over. Be kind. Don't make shit up. Love each other. Help each other. Don't work for shitty newspapers that just get a pleasure out of bringing people down. Alright guys, have a lovely weekend and I will catch up with you soon. Bye.